What's up, Math 8? Thanks so much for tuning in with another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 2.2, solving now two-step equations. And what we're going to be looking for is how to solve two-step equations, essentially. Again, this is a review of how to solve them. We should have seen this back in 7th grade, but if you needed some type of review, here it is. In order to solve two-step of equations, we need to first solve it using addition or subtraction, and then multiplication or division. So instead of ASMR, we're going to do ASMD. So again, that's adding or subtracting first, and then multiplying or dividing. Let's start with example 1. Go ahead and copy this example into your notes. And if you want to try it, pause the video, but when you're ready to check it, click play. So what we're going to do first is find any adding or subtracting on the side of the variable. And there is some addition right here. So to undo that addition, again, I'm going to go back and undo it by subtracting 2 from both sides. Plus 2 minus 2 cancels out, and all that's left is 10x, bringing that down, and 32 minus 2 is 30. My next step is either multiplying or dividing. 10 and x are being multiplied, so to solve it, I will divide. 30 divided by 10 gives me 3, and 10 divided by 10 is 1, so x should be equal to 3. To check my work, I can plug in the 3 where the x was, is 10 times 3 plus 2 equal to 32. It is, so I know that x equals 3 is my correct solution. Here's another example where we're going to try it. So let's go ahead and pause the video, copy it down, try it in your notes, and when you're ready, click play. Again, the first thing I'm going to look for is either adding or subtracting, so let's do that. I do see some adding, but it's being added to the 2/3 x, so really this one is kind of tricky. I'm looking for any positives or negatives also, and I notice that I have a -6. So to undo the -6, I'm going to show a +6 to both sides. -6 and a +6 cancel out, so all that's left is 2/3 x, and then 12 plus 6 is equal to 18. Again, my final step will be multiplying or dividing, but the trick with fractions is I'm multiplying by its reciprocal to cancel it out. So I'm multiplying both sides by 3/2. 3/2 times 2/3 is just 6/6, which is equal to 1x. And then 18/1 times 3/2. I first do that 18 times 3, and I would get 54. And 1 times 2, I get 2. Again, 54 can be divided both by 2, and we get 27, so x is equal to 27. Example 3, we're going to have 2 here, so let's take time now to pause the video, try these on your own, and when you're ready to check it, click play. This first one is very similar to what we just saw when we had to add the opposite of -6. Here we see a -4c, but we're not ready to do the multiplying and dividing piece yet. What I do need to find though is any addition or subtraction or positives and negatives, and right now I see a +19, so I'm going to undo that by showing a -19. I'm going to bring down what I have left over now. Notice I'm going to bring down the -4c because there's a minus sign in front of the 4c that will affect your answer, and then 17 minus 19 is -2. Last but not least, I will divide by -4 on both sides. -2 divided by -4 is 0.5 or 1/2, so you could answer as this, or 1/2. So C is equal to 0.5 or 1/2. This next one is kind of tricky, so we want to be very careful here. I cannot move this x minus 4 yet because technically you want to think about it as a fraction. It has a 9 underneath it. So in order to get rid of this, I have to multiply both sides by 9. So now I'm going to have x minus 4 is equal to -1 times 9, which is -9. Then I'm ready to add the -4 or add the +4 to both sides. Once I multiply by this 9, it released this x minus 4 so it could be by itself. So I get x is equal to -5. Our last two examples are very similar to what we just saw. So if you had some struggles with that, I'm going to give you some starting points here. This one, you're going to multiply by 3 on both sides first. And this second one over here, multiplying by -2 first. Okay, again, that multiplying by the bottom number or the reciprocal will release the top part of that. Let's pause it here, see what you can do on your own, and when you're ready to try it on your own or check it, click play. So this first one, I gave you a hint. Multiplying by 3 on both sides will allow us to cancel out this 3. So all that's left is x plus 4, and 8 times 3 is 24. Then we subtract 4 from both sides. We get x is equal to 20. A good way to make sure you're doing this right, again, is to check your work. So I just plug in 20 where the x was. Is 20 plus 4 divided by 3 equal to 8? It is. So we know that 20 is my correct solution. Going over here to my last one, negative 2 is being multiplied on both sides. So I'm going to get x plus 5 is equal to negative 26. I'm going to subtract both sides by 5. So I get x is equal to negative 31. Again, I can check my work here. Negative 31 plus 5 is negative 26, and negative 26 divided by negative 2 is a positive 13, so I know that my solution of negative 31 is correct. That's all the time we have for today for lesson 2.2. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.